Let's talk about place value, how we read numbers and what each of the digits actually mean. So this number here, we read it as 1238. Sometimes what I have to do is basically look at what each one of them means. So that first one will be the place of the ones. The second one to the left will be the place of the teens. So that's why we read the 3 as 30, 3 teens. The next one will be the place of the hundreds. That's why we read that as 238. And this one here will be the thousands. So we read 1238. This is the whole part of the number. Now, if we want to look at the decimal side of this number, it will be past the decimal point. So the digits to the right of this, let's say we had a 4 and a 5 here. It will be all very symmetric with respect to the ones. So to the left of the ones, what we have is the teens. So to the right of the ones, or after the decimal point, the first digit will be actually the tenths, meaning a fraction, a tenth. And if we need to visualize it, we visualize it that way. So we actually have 4 tenths. That's the value of that 4 in this number. And we continue with the symmetry. The second digit now to the left is hundreds. So the second digit to the right will also follow that pattern, but it will be a fraction. Hundredths with the th again. So out of 100. And that is the 5. So if I wanted to read this, like on the left hand side we read in one go 1238. On the right hand side I can read the blue part as the full thing 45. I can still read that way, but ending in the hundredth place. So I could read this as 45, just that bit there, hundredths, because that's the last place where this full number ends. Or I could express it as 45 over 100. And actually 45 over 100 or 45 out of 100 is what we are very familiar with in terms of expressing as a percentage. So 45%. So let's just look at another one, like just a smaller one, like say 2.45. I can read like this, but it doesn't bring any meaning to my reading. But if I read it as, what do I have to the left of the point, the whole part of the number? So I could even say, well, this is 2 wholes, 2 units, 2 ones. And to the right of the decimal point, I have 4 tenths and I have 5 hundredths. Or, as I said before, we could read this as in one go. This is actually 45 hundredths or 45%. And just one more, if we had 0.38. Again, straight away I see there are just 2 decimal places, 2 places after the decimal point. So I know this is the 3 tenths, that's the 8 hundredths. But in a combination, I can read this as 38 hundredths with a th, or 38%, because we know that anything out of 100 is a percentage. I'm not worrying about that 0 because there's no whole part to this number. So I'm simply talking about it as 38%.